Hi guys, my name's Amy Macaulay and I help people transform their lives by sharing my stories and by sharing my inspiration and helping people be motivated to become the best version of themselves. Today I want to talk to you about alcohol, and I want to talk to you about the reasons why I truly gave up alcohol. It's not something I've talked about a lot, so bear with me. I really want to share with you because I feel like I was given an absolute gift when I had the guts to give it up finally, and life has just been so much better since I gave up, and I want to share with you why I gave up. I'll be doing another video on the benefits that I've really noticed since giving up. I want to share with you why I gave up, and hopefully you'll get more of an understanding the reasons where I really felt like I needed to do that. So I started drinking when I was 14 years old, and just like most of my friends were drinking at that time, and we would drink before we went to discos and all that kind of stuff. And I guess the culture was drinking, and that's just what we did. There was a lot of silly things that we would do. We drink too much. We weren't used to it. We didn't drink very sensibly, all that kind of stuff. So, but as a normal teenager, then we went through kind of like late teenage, early 20s, university, and the drinking culture was pretty heavy there as well. So at the end of the day, we worked in bars, we drank a lot, and there was always that feeling of party time, as I'm sure a lot of people that go to uni will be able to relate to. And I guess a big part of my drinking was also my relationship with myself. I didn't really like myself very much, and I did suffer from having an eating disorder, and I think that alcohol was a little bit of an escape from the mind stuff that was going on as well. So I know I drank to sort of alleviate some of that pain, I guess. But I was a big drinker. I would drink lots, but I could drink a lot of people under the table. I had a good capacity for drinking. And I guess you're young, and the hangovers weren't too bad. Like, you could totally cope with them and everything. And then went into my mid-20s, got married, and carried on drinking. Drinking was a big part of our social life. It was a big part of what we did when we met friends or when we were going out with girlfriends and stuff. It was always around drink. It was always around what bars we're going to meet in, etc. Then I had my first daughter, and again, it was this whole sort of 5 o'clock wine time. It was, it wasn't partying quite as much when I had my first daughter, but there was certainly still alcohol there, and it was more how I would classify adult style drinking. So it was that whole drinking, but the drinking at 5 o'clock wouldn't just be one glass of wine, it would be 2, 3, maybe 4. And often I would find myself falling asleep at the couch watching TV. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd feel really rough, and but it was just the thing that it was just a habit. It was just a horrific habit. So I kept drinking and drinking and drinking. And that was just life. It was just, we would go meet our friends and it'd be drinking, and I had my children. I had 3 beautiful children, and in and out of those pregnancies, I would meet friends, have drinks or nighttime. And I guess I didn't ever think I had a problem with alcohol, but looking back and I think about how I was with alcohol, I know I definitely did have a problem, and I relied on it way too much. I did black out a lot. I would often wake up in the morning with very hazy kind of memories of how that was, what happened the night before, conversations that I did or didn't have. I'd often wake up with that real that real horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach, that guilt feeling of, oh, what did I say or what did I do? And so that became quite a feature, the blackouts. And as I got older, I noticed that the hangovers were starting to get really horrific, and I would often be sick with a hangover and a day would be easily wiped out. But what I really, really look back and think, wow, the impact alcohol had on my mental health. I know that the depression I suffered from was a direct result of the drink that I was drinking. I'd feel bad about myself, I would feel tired, I'd feel unenergetic, I'd feel uninspired, I'd just feel unhealthy, and it would make me choose the wrong types of food. Like, I would eat lots of stodgy food, I'd often crave fast food, And so it was a spiral. I just was never really being that healthy, and it was, you know, 5 o'clock come, glass of wine or vodka or something, and then the evening would go on and you'd have more, and maybe a friend would come over. Anyway, so it was constant. But as I say, the hangovers got so bad over the years. And there was a few incidents where I think, you know, gosh, I should really reel this in, because there was a couple of times that I can honestly say I'm really lucky I'm even alive today. One time I fell back on a glass table and bashed my head and smashed the glass table, and you know, must have a very thick head, and but it just happened. It was just like I was really, really drunk and very unproud of myself, and you can imagine how I felt the day after that. And I had a daughter, so at that time I was not happy that that happened, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to really turn me around. I remember coming up towards the end of my drinking, one incident that really, really got me, and it was horrific. I was at a dear friend of mine's party, and I just had my third baby a few months before, so I hadn't really been drinking much prior to that. So, and also I hadn't really been eating very well, so I didn't have an awful lot of base in my stomach. But we went to this party, and I was drinking a few champagnes and a few wines and stuff, and the problem with me is I didn't really have a very good off switch, so I didn't ever know really when I'd had enough. So anyway, often I would end up sleeping or crying or being really silly. And this night in particular, I must have been tired because obviously my baby was a few months old, so I was a bit sleep deprived. But it was mortifying because I went into the bathroom and I was doing the toilet and I fell asleep. And it was awful because there was so many people there, and they obviously, like, probably my husband noticed that I wasn't there after a while, and there's a lot of them looking for me. Where's Amy? Where's Amy? And eventually they worked out that I was in the toilet because somebody had been in the toilet for so long, so they had to break the door down and find me sleeping on the toilet, mid-toilet. So I mean, that was just absolutely horrendous. And so I remember being carried out of there, and my daughter was there, she saw me and their friends, and it was just really, really awful. Not at the time, and the day after, I mean, I could not get out of bed because I remember feeling like I just wanted the world to swallow me up. I did not want to speak to anyone. I didn't want to hear what I'd done. I didn't want to know how embarrassing I'd been. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted to be swallowed up. And I remember lying there that day just thinking, oh, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is just killing me. And I couldn't get out of bed. I just could hear life going on without me. I could hear the kids downstairs. And I just thought, this is absolutely no life. Like, I can't drink normally, and I can't just have a few. I tend to take it to the extreme. And I think the episodes of the blackout and the hangovers were just enough to make me realise that I couldn't go on. I couldn't carry on that kind of way of living. And so that was it. Like, I made a decision, and I made a decision. It was a big decision because I knew it was a huge part of my life, and it was almost like an old friend as well, the alcohol. So it was like saying goodbye to a really dear friend and a crutch. So I did make the decision to stop alcohol, and 9 years on, I haven't had any alcohol. So I will talk about this in my next video about why I'm so delighted I gave up alcohol. But I just wanted to talk you into how life was with alcohol, and how I was just slowly poisoning myself, my body over time, and how I believe it had such a direct link with my mental health, how it really caused so much of my depression and so much of my low self-esteem. Because now, 9 years later, I can look back and I can say in all honesty that I am a different person, and I am a different person with a completely different outlook on life than I did back then. So as I say, I'll talk about that in the next video, but I just wanted to share that with you. If you've got any comments, please pop them below, and if you feel like you want to subscribe to my channel, because in my channel I will be sharing many inspirations of how I changed my life and transformed my life to where I was many years ago to where I am now. So, and I hope by doing that I can inspire you and hope to help give you tools along the way to leading a very healthy and happy life. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Put a wee thumbs up there and remember to subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys, bye.